Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're focusing on a challenge that, well, I think many of you listening might recognize in your own English learning journey. It's that habit, that persistent habit of translating in your head. You know, you hear English, your mind immediately jumps to your native language to figure it out, you think of what to say there, and then you try and push it back out into English.
Yeah.
It often feels like you're taking this mental detour, doesn't it?
It really does. A very common feeling.
So our mission today is really to unpack this. How can you actually train yourself, train your brain to skip that translation step, to, start thinking directly in English?
That's the key, isn't it? Direct thinking.
We're going to explore how to build that immediate connection. And what our research shows is that making this shift, it can be truly transformative for your speaking speed, your fluency, and maybe most importantly, your confidence.
It's absolutely true. And what's fascinating here is just how widespread this challenge is. It's almost universal for language learners at some point. It often creates this kind of hidden barrier to getting truly fluent. A lot of people just accept it like it's just part of the deal.
Yeah, like it's unavoidable.
Exactly. But the insights we're looking at today suggest, well, it doesn't have to be that way. Making this foundational shift in how you process the language, it can be a real game changer.
A game changer how? Exactly.
Well, it moves you from just, knowing English words to actually sort of living in the language.
Yeah.
That intuitive flow becomes almost automatic.
That makes sense. So let's dig into that common scenario a bit more. You hear English, you think in your native language, you translate, then you try to speak. Have you listening ever felt that kind of slowness, maybe even a bit of stress, that pause while your brain does the work?
It's almost palpable sometimes, that hesitation.
Yeah. And here's where it gets really interesting. Why is that translation process actually so tough on our brains?
Well, that's where the cognitive load comes in. The research we've looked at breaks it down pretty clearly. When you're translating, your brain is essentially forced to juggle two big jobs at once.
Okay, two jobs.
Yeah, think about it. First, you have to fully understand what's being said or what you want to say in your own language. Process that completely.
Right, job one.
Then job two is immediately finding the right English words, the right structure, the right grammar to express that same idea.
Ah, I see. It's like running two programs simultaneously.
Precisely. And this intense dual processing, well, it naturally creates a delay. It uses up a lot of mental energy.
Okay.
And crucially, it often leads to mistakes because, frankly, your brain is stretched thin trying to bridge these two different language systems in real time.
So it's not just about being slow, it's the actual mental gymnastics involved. And I imagine that constant juggling, does that affect motivation too? Like, does it make people less willing to even try speaking?
Oh, absolutely. That's a really important point. It's not just an efficiency issue. There's a significant psychological cost.
Yeah. How so?
Well, when your brain feels like it's constantly working overtime, you feel less spontaneous, right? More self-conscious.
Yeah.
This can really ramp up anxiety about speaking. You start fearing mistakes, and, ultimately, you might just engage less in English conversations. It can make learning feel like a real chore.
Like you're always calculating instead of communicating.
Exactly. That energy drain isn't just cognitive, it's emotional too. It really stifles confidence and can make you shy away from practice opportunities.
Okay, so it's like running two operating systems, like you said, draining all the power. And those delays, the mistakes, they chip away at confidence, creating this cycle of hesitation.
A feedback loop.
So the big question is, how do we break free? How do we unlock that potential of thinking directly in English? Because, like the studies suggest, when you make that switch, the words just seem to come faster, more naturally.
Right.
And with, frankly, a lot more confidence. It's not just about speed. It's about this feeling of ease, this flow. That's the goal, right? That direct link between thought and English.
That's precisely it.
So, okay, what does this all mean in practice? How do you actually train your brain to make this leap? It sounds complicated, maybe.
You might think so, but here's the great part. The practical advice we've gathered points to three incredibly simple daily exercises. Things you can start doing today.
Okay, simple daily exercises. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, no fancy tech, no big-time commitment needed. Just, consistent, small actions.
Fantastic, because that's what makes it doable for everyone.
Exactly. And these aren't just abstract ideas. They're practical, actionable steps anyone can fit into their day, whatever their current level.
So they actually build new pathways in the brain.
That's the idea. Think of it like building a new direct highway for your thoughts in English instead of always taking that roundabout translation route.
Okay, I like that analogy, the direct highway.
Yeah, it helps your brain build this intuitive relationship with English. No middleman needed.
All right, let's get into them. Exercise number 1, what is it?
This one is super straightforward. You can do it literally anywhere. Okay. As you go about your day, the idea is just to pick something you see and say its name in English. Out loud or even just in your head.
So like I'm walking down the street, I see a bus, I just think or say bus.
Exactly. Or you look out your window, see a tree, or you're sitting down, you see a chair.
Simple. Just naming objects.
Just naming objects. The advice is really about being present and intentionally labeling your world with English words.
Okay, and why does that specific action help break the translation habit?
Well, it targets the root cause directly. Instead of seeing the chair, thinking of the word in your native language, then recalling chair.
Right.
This helps your brain connect the English word directly to the thing itself. The visual stimulus triggers the English word immediately.
Ah, so you're building that direct association, bypassing the detour.
Precisely. You're training your brain, literally your visual cortex, to link directly to your English vocabulary. No translation needed.
I love how easy that is to integrate. You don't need extra time, just awareness. Okay, what's exercise 2?
Exercise 2 is called mini self-talk.
Mini self-talk, okay.
This one takes it a small step further. It's about making English an active part of your internal monologue.
Your inner voice.
Exactly. The recommendation is simple. For just 1 minute, maybe a couple of times a day, talk to yourself in English about what you're actually doing right then.
Okay, like narrating my life for a minute.
Pretty much. The examples given are great. I'm cooking dinner, I'm walking to the store, I'm opening the window. Simple present actions.
Just describing what's happening.
Yeah. And here's the really crucial bit the advice stresses.
What's that?
It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be in English.
Oh, that's huge. Permission to not be perfect.
Absolutely. Let go of that pressure. Just get the English flowing, even if it's basic or has small errors.
Okay, so how does this mini self-talk help with the bigger picture of thinking in English?
Well, if we connect this back, it's incredibly valuable because it actively builds that internal English voice, that monologue.
Right, the one fluent speakers seem to have.
Exactly. By narrating your actions, even imperfectly, you're making English a more natural, integral part of your ongoing thought.
So you're kind of practicing conversation with yourself.
In a way, yes. You're giving English a space inside your head, making it less of an outside subject and more of an inside tool. It trains your brain to form thoughts directly in English, which is fantastic preparation for real-time conversations.
It's like warming up your English brain throughout the day.
That's a great way to put it. You're reinforcing those patterns of expression silently.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It sounds really powerful, actually, turning English into an internal companion. I like that. All right, let's move to the third one, exercise 3.
This one is the one-sentence journal.
One-sentence journal. Okay, sounds manageable.
Very. This is designed for the end of your day, maybe just before bed, a nice little wind-down activity.
Okay.
The guidance is simply, every night, write one sentence about your day in English.
Just one sentence.
Just one. And again, simplicity is key. The example given is perfect. Today, I studied English for 10 minutes.
Or today I had a nice lunch, something like that.
Exactly. It doesn't need to be profound or detailed. Just one complete thought about your day expressed in English.
And committed to writing, either on paper or screen. Why writing, specifically?
Writing, even just one sentence, engages slightly different cognitive processes. It forces your brain to structure a complete thought, to think about word order and form in a way that just speaking or thinking might not.
Okay, so it reinforces structure.
Yes, and it helps you process and kind of consolidate your day's experiences through that English lens. Plus, the consistency, doing this every single night.
That adds up, right?
Massively. These small daily actions are incredibly powerful for language learning. They create this cumulative effect, strengthening those English neural pathways bit by bit, night after night.
It really speaks to the power of habit, doesn't it? Small, consistent steps leading to big changes.
Absolutely. Builds vocabulary, grammatical intuition, and just the general habit of forming thoughts in English.
Brilliant. Okay, so we have naming objects, mini self-talk, and the one-sentence journal. 3 really accessible exercises.
Right.
Now, you've been listening to this. Let's try putting it into action immediately, right now.
Good idea.
Okay, everyone listening, try this with us. Look around you wherever you are. Choose one object you can see. Just one.
Got one.
Okay, now say its name out loud in English. Or just think it clearly. I'm looking at my water bottle. Okay, now let's try the next step. Tell yourself, or maybe even whisper it, one simple sentence about what you are doing right now in English.
Don't overthink it.
No, keep it simple. For instance, you might be thinking or saying, I'm listening to a deep dive.
Or I am sitting on the sofa.
Perfect. Just that little moment of direct English thought. How did that feel?
Hopefully pretty straightforward. And doing that simple act, it really raises an important question. What's the real point of all this? What's the goal?
Right, because it's easy to get hung up on mistakes.
Exactly. You might think, oh, my sentence wasn't perfect, or I wasn't sure of the word. But the core message from the insights we've looked at is crystal clear on this.
Which is?
The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to train your brain to connect directly to English.
Ah, that's worth repeating. Not perfection, but connection.
Yes. It's about building that direct bridge, that unmediated relationship with the language. Knowing this is so important because it just takes the pressure off.
Yeah, it really does.
You're not aiming for flawless English overnight. You're aiming for consistent practice, consistent progress. Every time you do one of these little exercises, you're strengthening that direct connection.
Making English feel less foreign and more like part of your own thinking.
Exactly. And that, in turn, is what fuels real confidence.
Progress, not perfection. That's a fantastic mantra for language learning, isn't it?
Definitely.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. The core takeaway from our deep dive today seems really simple, but also incredibly powerful. If you want to speak English faster, more naturally, with more confidence, you really have to start thinking in English.
It's the foundation.
It really feels like the key that unlocks that next level of fluency, that intuitive feel for the language.
Absolutely.
And the exciting part is, the path to get there isn't some huge, complex undertaking.
No.
Try just one of these exercises today. Just one. Name an object you see later. Talk to yourself for just 60 seconds while you're making coffee. Or tonight, write that single sentence about your day.
They're designed to be simple and accessible.
Totally. Anyone can fit these in, no matter how busy you are or what your current level is.
And it's worth thinking about the longer-term impact, too. These small, consistent mental shifts.
Yeah.
They do more than just help your speaking.
Oh, how so?
Well, by training your brain this way, you're not just improving verbal output. You're actually boosting your overall cognitive agility within the English language.
Cognitive agility. Interesting.
Yeah, you're making English a more fundamental part of how you see and process the world. This leads to deeper understanding, more spontaneous reactions, a better feel for nuance.
A stronger connection overall.
Exactly. This constant engagement, thinking in English, it actually encourages brain plasticity. You're literally gradually rewiring how your mind interacts with the language.
So these tiny habits create quite profound changes over time.
They really can. They compound.
Wow. So here's a final thought to leave you with. Imagine that feeling, the clarity, the spontaneity, the sheer flow you could achieve by letting English live directly in your thoughts, instead of always passing it through that translation filter. It's a pretty powerful idea, isn't it?
It is.
And it's entirely within your reach. What new connections might you make just by starting one of these small steps today? And until next time, keep thinking in English.